She like, when you finna pull up on me, hit the door. She said she wants some Fendi, Chanel, and Louis Vuitton.
Today we have our roster update predictions for Friday, July 9th. In the comment section below, leave your predictions for who's getting upgraded this week, who people need to invest in. Leave that down in the comment section. Maybe anybody that I missed or got wrong. Be sure to leave a like on this video. Subscribe to the channel if you're not already. Check out those links in the description. As always with my roster update predictions, couple things. Number one, just because I predict somebody does not mean they're guaranteed an upgrade, and just because I don't mention somebody does not mean they are not deserving of an upgrade or anything like that. We're going to start with the pitchers and then move on through the position players, ending with the outfielders. Now, first up in the video today is going to be my first and only starting pitcher for my predictions. I only do upgrades. I don't really focus on downgrades. One thing that I want to say too, if anyone else felt the same way, I feel like there's not a lot of guys that are like really deserving of upgrades, right? I feel like the last roster update was huge. We had some like 10 new diamonds, and I feel like this one's going to be a lot smaller than the last one in my opinion. But we got Freddie Peralta from the Milwaukee Brewers. He's continuing to kill it this year. In the last 30 days, he's got a 2.17 ERA on the season, only allowing 4.1 hits per nine, which is really, really good. 0.9 homers per nine, 4.1 walks per nine, and then 12.5 strikeouts per nine. So I feel like the hits per nine could even go up a little bit at 4.1, right? A little bit above a 103. But I feel like that strikeouts per nine being at 12.5 probably needs to go up, man, to maybe the mid 90s, like 93, 94, maybe 95. Like I said, his walks per nine, he's sitting at 4.1 per 9 innings. So I feel like that's probably solid where it's at. It's not too great on the season, but I think you could give him a little bit of a boost to the hits per nine, but especially that strikeouts per nine, and get him up to an 85 being a diamond. Now, I don't have any relief pitchers, so we're on to the closing pitchers. Got two of them. The first one's going to be Ryan Presley, and he's having a solid season. 1.54 ERA on the season, okay? And that's to go along with 6.2 hits per 9 innings, 0.3, listen to this, 0.3 home runs per 9 innings, and then 1.3 walks per 9 and 11.6 strikeouts per 9. So 6.2 hits per 9. I feel like that's probably good where it's at an 85. Strikeouts per 9 though, 11.6. You got to get that up, man. I feel like 75 is way too low. I feel like you easily got to boost that into the 80s in this next update. Home runs per 9 being at 0.3. I feel like a 68 is just disrespectful at this point. I feel like you got to boost that up as well. So I feel like a boost to his strikeouts per 9 and his home runs per 9 that he deserves would easily get him up to a gold this week. I see that easily happening. I feel like it needs to happen. Our final pitcher of the video is going to be Matt Barnes. I really don't know if he's going diamond this week, man. I feel like we've been talking about this dude forever. Like, I would love to see him go diamond. I feel like he's probably deserving of it. I just don't know if it happens yet, okay? He's got a 2.68 ERA on the season. Checking out his actual stats for the season compared to his attributes, he's got a 5.4 hits per 9. So I feel like 105 is probably pretty solid where it's at. I don't see that really going up any higher. 1.0, 1 home run per 9 innings, so 71. Maybe that could see a little bit of a boost. 2.4 walks per 9. I feel like that's got to go up, man. The last two seasons he was at 5.5 and then 5.3 in 2019. So being at only 2.4 walks per 9 innings, I feel like 62 is disrespectful to this man as well. I feel like if you just upgrade that walks per 9 into the 70s, high 70s is probably what it needs to be at least. I feel like that easily gets him up to a diamond. I don't think you could touch hits per 9ers. Strikeouts per 9, yeah, you can get that over 100, right? He's at 15.1 on the season. Strikeouts per 9 innings, that deserves to be over 100 right there. So I feel like if you boost that strikeouts per 9 a little bit, maybe up to 102, 103, and then boost the walks per 9 by a lot, being at only 2.4 on the season, I think he easily goes diamond. I feel like he deserves it, but I feel like I've also been saying for like a month and a half that he needs to be a diamond, and he's not yet. Next up is ALBIES. I don't have any catchers or first basemen, so we're on to our first and only second baseman, actually our first and only infielder for the video. Like I said, I just felt like I was struggling to find people besides like bronzes and comments, which I guess I could start trying to talk about those dudes some more if y'all wanted me to in future videos. But I usually try to focus on golds to diamonds and silvers to gold, and I just couldn't find a whole lot this week. But we got ALBIES. He has been playing really well recently. I think he just got named as the National League Player of the Week. for last week, so that's pretty sick as well. If we take a look at his last 30 days, he's hitting 275 with 523 slugging. That's 6 home runs, 5 doubles, and 2 triples. Last 2 weeks, though, averages at 298 with 596 slugging and 946 OPS. 5 of those 6 homers in the last 30 days are coming in the last 2 weeks. So that's pretty solid for him. 2 of those 5 doubles are as well. Got 2 doubles in the last 2 weeks. And then checking out his average in the last week, the last 7 days, he's hitting 357 with 3 homers. So 3 of those 5 that are in the last 2 weeks are in the last week itself. So I feel like ALBIES is going diamond soon. Is it going to be this week? I hope so. Otherwise, we're going to have to wait 2 more weeks, and it's going to be a little bit different because there's the All-Star break and everything thrown in there. So we'll have to wait and see how he does, but I could easily see ALBIES going diamond this week. I feel like you could get him up there on the season. He's hitting 239 versus righties, so contact struggling a little bit, but he has been hitting well the past 2 weeks, past month or so, and I'm interested to see what ends up happening and your thoughts on him down in the comment section. Next on our list is our first and only left fielder. We got SCHWARBER. He's a 76 right now. I really don't know what's going to happen, man. I personally do not see him getting up to a gold this week. I know people are thinking he will. I've been seeing a lot of people telling me about him and everything. In the last 2 weeks since the last update, he's hitting 317 with 854 slugging. So last 2 weeks, he's got 7 homers. Last 30 days, we know he has 16 home runs, hitting for an even 300 average in those last 30 days. Currently injured right now, I think, with a pretty bad hamstring. But with that being said, man, his contact, 53 and 45, is pretty low. On the season, he's got 2 homers and 360 slugging versus lefties for a 240 average. So I don't really see them upgrading his power versus lefties, contact versus lefties. Maybe. It really depends on how he's hit versus them in the last 2 weeks, last 30 days or so. And then versus righties, 258 average on the season, 653 slugging. I feel like you can't really do that power up anymore versus righties. So it's tough to say. I like mentioning people that even if I don't think they're gonna, you know, get a level change, I think I could see him getting to 77 or 78. I just personally don't see him going gold. I think it could happen, but I just feel like he's struggled a little bit too much versus lefties on the season, and he hasn't hit for a whole lot of average in contact versus righties, and his power is already really high. So it could happen. I could see him going gold, but I would personally be surprised by it. Next up on our list is Joey Gallo. I know he's only an 81, and you guys can see there, plus 10 to his power and contact versus righties gets him to an 84, which is not really that big of an upgrade, okay? So just keep that in mind. But Joey Gallo has been hitting a lot better recently than he did at the beginning of the season. In the last 30 days, he's hitting for a 297 average with 11 homers and 1 double. That's going to give him a 757 slugging percentage. Got an OPS of 1215. That's the last 30 days. If we go ahead and check out versus right-handed pitching, that's what needs to be upgraded. In the last 30 days versus right-handed pitchers, he's hitting 296 with a 759 slugging. So I feel like with having 8 homers in the last 30 days versus righties, you could probably boost that power versus righties even more. That's a really good slugging percentage in general. Overall, good power. And then 296 average versus righties. That deserves more than a plus 10 boost to his contact. I will say it's a little bit hard to tell necessarily on the season. He's only hitting 213 versus righties, so I don't know if you could really do it more than plus 10, but I could see him getting into the 40s for that contact pretty easily, how his past 30 days have gone. And I'm interested to see where he goes, because I do think Joey Gallo is getting upgraded this week. I just don't know if I think it's going to be to a diamond. That is a very big boost. Last 30 days, he's hitting, I want to say 300, I believe, versus left-handed pitching. So, you know, maybe that contact could get up there as well. Slugging percentage 750 versus lefties. I don't really see it going higher than 101, but overall I think Joey Gallo's deserving and will get an upgrade this week. I just don't know if he can get that +4 up to a diamond. And then the last prediction or just guy that I wanted to talk about for the video is going to be Hunter Renfroe, and he's one of those guys where I don't personally think he's going to get upgraded to gold. I wouldn't invest in him. If it happens, I wouldn't necessarily be surprised, but he's just not one of those guys where I'm like, yeah, I feel like he's really deserving of an upgrade. His contact and power versus lefties already super high. Honestly, past 30 days, 276 average versus lefties, with 621 slugging. So just based on those numbers versus lefties, I think they could honestly go down a little bit. But what he needs, let's just say they don't go down. You guys can see +1 to that contact and power versus righties. Bam, gets him to a gold, gets him to 80. So he is right on the cusp. He's super close to being a gold, but just not quite there. So let's say his lefty attributes stay the same. You know, he hasn't been doing super great versus him, but hasn't been doing terrible. Let's just leave him where they're at. So the last 30 days versus right-handed pitching, Hunter Renfroe's average is 250 with 391 slugging. So the power versus righties, I think, would either stay the same or even go down. I don't think it's deserving of an upgrade. With that being said, though, 250 average versus righties, you could maybe boost the contact up a little bit. Like we can see here, he really doesn't need much. So let's say they gave him a +3 to the contact versus righties and didn't change anything else. I could see him going gold, but I feel like they want to upgrade that contact versus righties without downgrading anything else. I feel like they want to do that just to make him a gold. So I personally don't see him going gold. It could happen, but I wouldn't put my money on it. That's going to be it for my roster predictions. I know there wasn't a ton of guys to focus on. I was just struggling to find, you know, silvers and golds that I think could get upgraded this week. I feel like it's going to be a lot smaller of an update than the one we got a couple weeks ago. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, though. Like, comment, subscribe. I'm interested to see your predictions down in that comment section. Social media is all that good stuff down in the description. I'll see you next time. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you have a fantastic rest of your day. Peace out.